limitations to it. Let me go to Nomiki Konst. Nomiki, what is your response to Elon Musk putting Alex Jones back on X?
What I find so fascinating about Elon Musk is he uses a very loose, absolutist definition of free speech for his needs, but for his company, but
Just
doesn't
because
use the
somebody
same standards for, say, the algorithm.
FOS, that
I
doesn't
mean,
mean
he has
that
no problem giving Russian
he or
bots
she
that boost some of
supports
these guests on the show
every
with
agrees
the free speech rights, but
with every statement that other people say, or that another person says. I meant to say, FOS doesn't mean support for freedom. Freedom of speech doesn't mean agreements agreements with with every statement that somebody says. People gotta certain people act like they don't know that, bro.
Nomiki Konst. Nomiki, what is your response to Elon Musk putting Alex Jones back on X?
Certain people, the wokies, they want to say
what I find so fascinating about Elon Musk
you
is
like this person
he
just because you support that person's right to say how he or she genuinely feels about things. That doesn't mean I like that person or it just means, well,
uses a very loose, absolutist definition of free speech for his needs, but for his company, but doesn't use the same standards for, say, the algorithm. I mean, he has no problem giving Russian bots that boost some of these guests on the show with the free speech rights, but does not give people of color and women the same rights. So this is
that
not
part
a
is
equal
woke.
playing
That
field.
part about
Number one, they're not the
people of
government.
color,
Number two, they're not
women.
following.
She's on that woke time, bro. That virtue signaling, white savior, BS, bro.
This is not an equal playing field. Number one, they're not the
I
government.
see what she's
Number
saying.
two, they're not
She's
following the
saying
United
about the
States.
bots, though.
This is not an equal playing field. Number one, they're not the government. Number two, they're not following the United States free speech. No problem giving Russian bots that boost some of these guests on the show with the free speech rights, but does not give people of color and women the same rights. So this is not an equal playing field. Number one, they're not the government. Number two, they're not following the United States free speech law. There are limitations, as you said: incitement, defamation, fraud, threats, child porn, obscenity. Those are the limitations to free speech, and there is a whole lot of that going on Twitter. So if he wants to be an equal playing field free speech absolutist, then clean up the bots, clean up the algorithm, make it completely transparent and democratized, and let people like me and then people of color and smaller accounts have the same effect as, say, someone who's more boosted by Russian bots.
Okay, let me bring in Glenn Greenwald. Glenn, you like me, you're a big supporter.
Yeah, I see what she's saying about the smaller accounts in general, regardless of political party, race, religion. Like if you have a smaller account, if you don't pay the $8 a month or whatever, your reach will be limited. You won't uh, your tweets will get less visibility because you didn't get the $8 a month thing. Yeah, I spoke, I called out Elon for that in a video a while ago, a long time ago. But yeah, I am not mad at Elon for putting Alex Jones back on X, FKA Twitter. You gotta be, yeah, bro.
Clean up the bots, clean up the algorithm, make it completely transparent and democratized.
Even though Alex Jones was on that wild time when he said what he said about Sandy Hook. I am not mad at Elon for putting him back on X, even though he spoke out against what Alex Jones did. He did not like what Alex Jones did, but
clean up the bots, clean up the algorithm, make it completely transparent and democratized, and let people like me and then people of color and smaller accounts have the same effect as, say, someone who's being boosted by Russian bots.
Okay, let me bring in Glenn Greenwald. Glenn, you like me, you're a big supporter of the principle of free speech, and let's just lay it on the table. I called this show Uncensored because I wanted to celebrate free speech, but I've always been aware there are limitations, and under the First Amendment, which is one of the greatest protectors of free speech anywhere in the world, defamation is not protected under the First Amendment, and this was clearly one of the most serious defamations of a body of people that America has ever seen. So I don't understand why, just for that reason alone, why Elon Musk has performed this U-turn with Alex Jones.
I think the issue here is what they do on the platform. We have all kinds of terrible people using social media. We have people who lied the United States into a devastating war in Iraq, including the current president of the United States. We have people who defame all the time, like the guest I just heard in my ear tried implying so she wasn't courageous enough to say what she meant. So one of the people on this panel is somehow promoted by, I'm sorry,
they don't get held accountable. Nothing happens to those people. But you know what I mean? People that are right wingers, people that are not on the left, that are not black, not minority people, they always get held accountable. They always even if they didn't do anything hateful or despicable, or they get slandered, they get vituperated, there's a smear campaign. They try to tarnish and besmirch the reputations of these people that they disagree with. But as far as the anti-Republican people, nothing happens to them. The anti-white people, nothing happens to them. The bias is crazy, and it has to stop it.
States into a devastating war in Iraq.
Deplatform
we have people who defame all the time, like the guest I just heard in my ear tried implying
you gotta
that she
deplatform.
wasn't courageous enough to say what she meant. So one of the people on this panel
the
is somehow
anti-Republican people, the anti-white people, the anti-Palestinian people.
using social media. We have people who lied the United States into a devastating war in Iraq, including the current president
I
of the
meant to say
United
the
States. We have people who
Jewish
defame
people.
all the time, like the guest I just heard in my ear tried implying so she wasn't courageous enough to say what she meant. But one of the people on this panel is somehow promoted by, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm hearing a voice in my ear because I'm not actually done talking yet. So the standard here that Elon Musk enunciated when he first bought Twitter is one that I support. Wasn't courageous enough to say what she meant. But one of the people, all kinds of terrible people using social media. We have people who lied the United States into a devastating war in Iraq.
People calling for the genocide of different races that
so she wasn't courageous enough to say what she meant.
certain blacks, they call for the genocide of white people. That is demonic. Nothing happens to those people. That's crazy, bro. They should be removed. Those people that call for the mass murder of a whole race, a whole different race. That's not FOS. If you if you call for violence against another group, you should be removed from that platform, bro. Platform. You should not stay on that app if you foment violence against a group that you don't like, or it like words, that's different. That's like calling somebody a name, that's or a slur, that's different from calling for violence against them. whole group of people, like people who call for for violence should not be on these apps, bro. It should not. That's not FOS. It's too far, bro. That's yeah, demonic, devilish. Not saying slurs are not devilish. They are, but when you call for violence, that yeah, you should be booted from that. You should definitely be booted from that platform.
I think the issue here is what they do on the platform. We have all kinds of terrible people using social media. We have people who lied the United States into a devastating war in Iraq, including the current president of the United States. We have people who defame all the time, like the guest I just heard in my ear tried implying that she wasn't courageous enough to say who she meant. But one of the people on this panel is somehow promoted by, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm hearing a voice in my ear because I'm not actually done talking yet. So the standard here is that Elon Musk enunciated when he first bought Twitter is one that I supported, even though he hasn't always adhered to it, which is as long as people are using that platform in ways that the law allows speech to persist, to be able to be expressed, then everybody should be able to be heard. What they do outside the platform, I don't think we want social media, Facebook saying, oh, this person did something terrible off the platform, now we're going to ban them, otherwise we're going to have big tech censors who sit in judgment of everybody's behavior.
That's tyranny. That's
Alex Jones did use Twitter to amplify his disgusting lies about Sandy Hook, and he will now be able to monetize all of his conspiracy theories to his heart's content on X without having paid a single dime of the 1.2 billion damages awarded against him, which should be going to the families of the Sandy Hook victims that he so cruelly defamed. That's my problem with this, is he's not just any old Joe who got deplatformed, has got rolled back. This is a guy at the centre of the biggest defamation case in recent times, who hasn't paid any of his dues to these people.
But Piers, if he monetizes his platform on X, that is income that those plaintiffs will easily be able to get. And if he uses the platform to spread conspiracy theories or defamation that falls outside of what free speech absolutism is, and I think Twitter would be justified in banning him. But what do? You ban people forever if they say something defamatory, like I said? Will easily be able to get, and if he uses the platform to spread conspiracy theories or defamation that falls outside of what free speech absolutism is, and I think Twitter would be justified in banning him. But what do? You ban people forever if they say something defamatory. Like I said, there are people who have done a lot worse than Alex Jones who are using Twitter, including bringing about wars, lying to deceive Republican elections. And I don't think that we want this standard that says anything other than, as long as you say things that are within the First Amendment, you should be entitled to use social media. Once you don't, you should have a just punishment. He's been banned for many years now, and I think Elon Musk is saying, okay, it's time to bring him back and see how he uses the platform.
Well, so what to me? Okay, but you see, my criteria is always
like this cancel culture, this cancel mob stuff.
Or an elected official, actually, at any time, at any level, then I think everything that you tweet should be left
as if certain people are superior and perfect and infallible. Nobody is infallible. Everybody messed up and did things, like made mistakes and all, and did things that are not good. Like every human on this earth. So to make it seem like you are superior to Alex Jones or you are perfect, it's crazy, bro. Like these wokies, man, these sanctimonious people, man, they really kill me, man. They really do.
The theory has always been that if you were a world leader or an elected official, actually, of any kind, at any level, then I think everything that you tweet should be left